Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 4 of our Gold Empire, Gold Rush or Bust gameplay series. I am the Ultra Farmer, and I'm just loading up some beams onto our trailer here. We got to take this trailer in and sell this full load of kind of crap that we got on here. Stuff that I've been producing through the summer. I've cleared out a bunch of trees around here, but there's kind of a lot for us to get into and a lot for me to kind of go show you. Let's just get this strapped down real quick. Oh, put that one on. Let's just get into kind of what I've been doing throughout the summer. As you can see, I cleared, let me stand back here. Maybe we'll go into this mode so I can show you a little bit more. I cleared a whole bunch of trees out of this area and piled it into our sawmill. And that's where most of all this, you know, the beams and the lumber and the planks and all of that stuff came from. I've been working through slowly getting these piles of gravel put into the production facility. That's where all the extra bags of cement came from that I figured we might as well go sell because we don't need any more for the cabin. And we're going to go over and look at the cabin because the cabin looks awesome. It's not done yet, but it looks awesome. I can't wait to show you guys. And so, yeah, I've just slowly been working through this pile, kind of cleaning up this area. Then we'll dig through this. I've got some roof plates now that have been built. I think I'm just going to stockpile a bunch of this stuff for now. So if we can build some other sheds and stuff later on. But that's going to be kind of the plan with this. Just keep, you know, I'm going to sell all these bags of concrete, but I might keep more of this stuff moving forward. So let's go just take a look at where I cleared out for trees. Because what I also did was I put down a ramp. I got a ramp built for us here. So now we can use the dump truck to back up this ramp and dump directly into the trommel, which is really awesome. And we've got a couple pails of gold concentrate here. There's gold in there. You can see it a little bit. There's like some dirt and stuff, but there's gold in there, which is awesome. So let's go over to the equipment and I'll kind of show you what I've been working on. Maybe it'll be easier if I go into this mode. So this is the part of the riverbank where we kind of started in, and I've just been digging. I've been working along here with the excavator. I dig, and I've just been creating like my spill pile right here of pay dirt. I load it up into the dump truck with the front loader. The dump truck obviously goes over, backs up the ramp, dumps into the trommel, and I'm just slowly working my way around the bank until we get back to the trommel, and then I'll probably work this cabin area back to the trommel, and then eventually where we're gonna have to go is kind of deep into this area where this is just kind of washing in. I think on this bank as it comes into this kind of backwater we'll be able to find a bunch, but that's kind of down the road. I'll slowly build a road in through here where I'm going to clear out trees to get us back to this area. We'll use those trees to build other things on the farm or on the laydown of the mine area. I eventually do want to build some farmland out here. That's why I know why I cleared all this out, and we have the dozer, and I'll slowly be able to kind of clear off all this brush and maybe dig down and get some farm fields. Because I think towards the end of this, once we get our gold mine going, I'm going to really want to put in some farmland. So that's kind of the plan there. But let's go down and let's go check out the cabin, because the cabin looks awesome. And it's so close to being done. Look at it. Just look at it. We'll be out of that sea can for sure. There's a little bit of furniture and stuff in there. However, we need more furniture. The final things that are kind of bottlenecking us to finish this is we need prefab walls. And we need some more furniture built for the inside. It's mostly like cabinetry and stuff like that. Not like a couch, but like, yeah. So our little sawmill won't build. We can't build the prefab walls. All we can really build is the rough lumber, or the, you know, it's refined lumber. It's not raw, but the milled lumber, I should say. And on top of that, there's not really anything else we can do. So we have to go to the sawmill to get that done. Now I've put in a few phone calls and it's going to be expensive. It's going to cost about 35 grand to get the amount of prefab walls and the amount of furniture that we need to finish the cabin. So that's part of why I'm taking this load up to the warehouse so that we can sell this stuff off. And there's like two things that we kind of have to buy. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that we have to buy, but mainly what we have to buy is the prefab walls. I got to put in the order to the sawmill, and they're actually going to deliver them to us. We have to pay a little bit for the delivery fee. I'll kind of show you once we're on the ferry. Like, we can see the sawmill, but to drive and get there is it's quite an adventure. You have to go around basically everything, because you have to like go around there's no ferry like on this side that crosses over. It crosses obviously the ferry that we take, and then you have to take this massive route all the way around to the sawmill. So it's worth, I think it'll be worth getting them to deliver it for us. Is going to be my rough plan. But the main thing will be selling off just this kind of load of supplies. I don't know how much money we're going to get for it. I never go in and calculate and check. It is what it is. We need the, you know, there's probably better months that we can wait to go sell this stuff on, but we just don't have the option. I could just sell the gold concentrate as is, but I want to put down a gold room so that we can refine it and get jars of gold out of that, because it's just going to be, you know, more valuable. That gold room costs 120 grand. So I want to go get whatever we're going to get for this haul of supplies and set down the gold room, put in our order for our prefabbed walls and furniture to the sawmill. I'll talk to them and see what it's going to cost for delivery. If it's like super expensive, then I'll just go get it, but it might be worth having them bring it out to us. If it's a few grand, it's, you know, if they charge us $2,500 or something like that, 3 grand for delivery, I think it'll be worth it just to not have to mess around. Okay, let's get this going. There we go. And so, yeah, I'll show you the route that you have to take. Like, so we would have to take this, just to get right here, we take the ferry across. You have to come all the way down here, all the way around, all the way here, and cross there. It'd be nice if we just had a barge, like a boat or something, and we could just make the trip across, but, you know, maybe in the future. We gotta make more money and stuff first. And so once we can get the gold room and stuff down, then we'll actually really be making money from the gold, which will be pretty awesome. That is obviously a big goal, and I cannot wait to move into the cabin. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head up to the warehouse. We'll head up to the warehouse. I'll meet you guys up there. We'll sell this load, and is this going to go? Yeah, we'll sell off this load of supplies, see how much cash we get, and then we'll head back to the farm and start planning out where we're going to drop down the gold room. And then once that's set down and the orders put into the sawmill, we'll start digging up that riverbank. Alright, I'm just pulling in to the store here, and we're going to see how much cash we get for this. I mean, we should probably be getting around like 200 grand for this, knowing what we get for the lumber in the past. There's Walt. Just watch it. Walt's watchful eye. Let's just got to get onto the trailer here, and let's get the straps off. Pull through nice and slow. 197. Not too bad. Not too bad. We can live with that. We can absolutely live with that. Now, is there anything that I need while we're up here? I don't think so. I don't think so. It'd kind of be nice at some point to get ourselves a little kind of side-by-side for bombing around the farm, but, you know, we don't really need anything like that. I think I'm just going to save money because I really obviously want to get bigger equipment once we can. Like, to get a bigger excavator down the road would be really awesome. Not that one that we have isn't fine, but just if we could get a bigger, you know, bigger equipment, we can move more dirt, you get more into the trommel and then all that stuff. But there is some like equipment that I want us to eventually get, and I'm gonna kind of look into it and trying to figure out a good plan, like a good just a good setup. But I want to get some good conveyor belts and stuff, or something like that, kind of a system built where we can be a little bit further from the trommel, but just like dropping pay dirt onto a conveyor belt, and it's just constantly feeding into the trommel would be pretty cool. That way we could save some time there from kind of going back and forth with the dump truck, but that's down the road. You know, there's things that I want us to get set up first. I want to get the laydown yard set up first. Whoa, yeah, we're still fighting this truck. Gotta get a new like trailer hauling truck. The Dodge is great, but it just, I don't know, we need to get like a 1-ton dually or something that'll pull this gooseneck a little bit better. So things down the road, but okay, I'll meet you back at the farm. While I'm on the ferry, I'm gonna put the call into the sawmill for the fab walls and the furniture, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'll meet you at the farm and we'll start placing out that the gold room, and then let's start digging up that riverbank. All right, I'm just backing in here. I'm going to park the Dodge just kind of by the trommel here so we can have it sitting and ready to go. So I talked to the boys at the Sawmill. Now, they're able to do the prefab walls and the furniture, but they are not able to deliver them for us. Unfortunately, they said they're just too busy. And it is a bit of a trek to get us over here. I was like, well, why don't you guys just float it across on a boat? And they're like, yes, we wish we could, but we just can't right now. So they're too busy. But what I got to do is I got to transfer them. So we need 6,000 liters of furniture is the way it's called. So 6 units of furniture, and they're $2,000 a piece. So that's 12 grand we got to pay for the furniture. I'm going to remove that cash. Sorry, let's just escape out of that. So it's 12 grand that I got to remove and send them a transfer for the furniture. So that pulls out of our account. And then we need 4 units of the prefab walls, which those are 5 grand a piece. So we got to pull 20K off for that. So we got to go another 20. Send that to them, and that is based off of where are we going in these pricing right here. So they basically have to charge us kind of top dollar for all of it because they are very busy. So the furniture is right around that 2 grand marker. They said they would charge us for, and the prefab walls right here, 5 grand, 4,900. 5 grand is kind of the big price that they'll pay for it, and so that's what they said. They'll just do flat rates, 5 grand to 2 grand, kind of make it fair. And so that's it. So that order is in, and they're going to be working on it, and they said it'll probably be ready today. Like, it really won't take them that long, which wish they could deliver it. But so since it's not going to take them too long, what I figured we could do is start digging up this riverbank, and once it's ready, we'll go over and grab that stuff. But yeah, let's start digging up this riverbank, and I'll kind of take you through the process of what I was doing here. It was pretty simple. Actually, you know what? Just before we dig, maybe let's clear some of this stuff out. Let's get some of this stuff cleared out of the way of our spill pile so that we can kind of have a little bit more room to work here, because I was kind of getting it a little bit full here. This was my system. So this bucket that we have on this front loader holds 10,000 per. Oh my god. I'm spilling it. This bucket is good. For some reason, it doesn't give me my inclination thing, so it's kind of hard for me to tell when it's level and such. I'll just have to go like this. Anyways, this bucket will hold 10,000 liters per, and the dump truck holds 30,000. So obviously easy math. I just dumped 3 full loads in here, and then the dump truck we back over to the trommel. Well, I don't fully back right over, but we pull over to the trommel, dump that in, and that's kind of my system that I think is the fastest. I was going back and forth with the dump, like the front loader, just kind of taking a scoop over one at a time to the trommel. But this just kind of seems a little bit better. Plus, like I said, we bought the dump truck, so I might as well use it. One more scoop there. And then with the excavator, I just kind of sit and I just move along the bank there. Yeah, and I just kind of dig as we go. I'm not digging down super deep because it makes the excavator want to tip into the river, which I obviously don't want to do. So then there, sit like that. Let's jump in this unit. Get this guy all fired up. And I just head over and dump into the trommel. And this will be good for us. We'll be able to kill some time doing this while those prefab walls and the furniture is kind of getting put together for us. I think the furniture they have just kind of stockpiled in the back. This is very heavy for this dump truck. It's really hard to brake when you're going kind of not full speed forward, but then we dump her on in. Yeah, I think they have the furniture just kind of sitting there. So basically, like, they obviously have lumber and stuff there to build the prefab walls. Really won't take them that long. They only have to build 4 of them, so I think they'll be able to frame it pretty quick and get them ready to go for us. Hopefully towards the end of the day, and then we'll make the long journey, the long trek over to go pick them up. Let's get this unit parked back in its spot here. Clear some more off this bank. Maybe we'll do a couple more loads here. Now, I really have no sense of how much concentrate we're going to have to put into the gold room before we're starting to get really good amounts of gold, or like a large amount of gold where we're making big cash. I really don't know how much pay dirt and stuff we're going to have to move through. I'm assuming we're going to have to put quite a bit of pay dirt through. Because to get a jar of gold, like, you got to have a lot of dirt. Like, it's not like we're just rolling in the, the quote-unquote nuggets. Like, there's gold in this pay dirt, but it's small flakes. To really, really get a jar full of gold, I think we're going to have to, like, move some serious amounts of earth. So it could take a while before we're actually really making good cash from the gold. It'll be a bit of a slow process because the next main goal is going to be just get bigger equipment. Once we can move more dirt and more earth, then we'll be able to, obviously get more gold. But doing that is not going to be no easy task, and getting bigger iron is not cheap. That auction was good that we went to, but those aren't happening every week. So it's going to have to just be a bit of a grind over the next year and into the winter time. Now, one thing that I want to plan for winter is, once the ground freezes, it's going to make things way harder to dig, way harder. And so part of my plan as we get to winter is I'm just going to be digging in the fall, and we're going to have to stock up like just a mountain of pay dirt, because one chore that we can do... Oh, is this thing full? I think it is. One thing that we're going to have to do through the winter is then we can move that pay dirt around. So right now I'll take the loads into the trommel and dump it off because we're still in July. But, as we start getting to like September and October, it's going to be just digging. Just solely digging and stockpiling and getting ready for winter so that we have a good amount of chores that we can do through the winter. Now, also, what we can do in the winter is start clearing the trail over to the kind of next area that I want to work, which is kind of on the other side of the hills over there. So, through the winter, we can be doing a lot of logging, which again will just kind of be, we can throw the logs into the sawmill, we can build a bunch of beams and planks and stuff, because there is going to be some kind of like barns slash garages that I want us to build as well, which will require the beams, the planks, bags of concrete, all that stuff really. So we'll have a lot of those chores to kind of keep us busy. And I'm also hoping at some point in the spring we might be able to get the dozer over here and start clearing some fields. As much as I really want us to gold mine, but gold mining, we're only going to have so much gold out here, right? Like there will be a finite amount. And so what I'm trying to plan for the future is, what are we going to do when the gold mine runs dry? Now, maybe it won't run dry for a while, but I want us to kind of have some sort of a backup plan as to what will happen if we, once we dig all the pay dirt and we get most of the gold out and that kind of well runs dry, well, what do we do? And I kind of want that to be a farm, to be our backup plan, or just like our, our retirement plan, if you will. So I think what we're going to do now, let's jump into the excavator. I'm just going to kind of get in a sweet spot here. That looks pretty good. Let's jump in the cab. And let's start digging. There we go. Now, this is a bit of a slow process, just because we can only scoop, 2,500 liters per. So I mean, like if we had a bigger excavator, we could obviously scoop more, but that works pretty good for us. Oh yeah. I'm trying to do... Got to be careful when we scoop, because it just hooks that bedrock at the bottom, and then it wants to pull us in. Can't flip this piece of equipment into the creek, that's for sure. Let's get our tracks set up here a little bit better. Try and push that spill pile away from the bank just a little bit. Oh geez, did that not all clear out of the bucket? Let's try and throw this spill a little bit further out. There we go. There's some digging for us. Alright, there we go. Okay, so what I think we should do here is, let's try and get a bunch of this done. I'm gonna just go to town here, digging up this bank, going back and forth between these 3 pieces of equipment, just getting this riverbank dug up, and then once we get our spill pile a little bit full here, I'll keep loading up the dump truck, and we'll haul it over to the trommel. And then once we kind of get a good session done, then we'll kind of go work on planning out where that gold room's gonna go. And another thing that I want to buy on this episode is to get it set up with a fuel tank. I talked to the boys in town about getting like a monthly or something fuel truck to come out here and fill us up so that we can always have fuel on hand, because the trommel's going to burn a bunch of fuel, and we're really going to be burning fuel in these pieces of equipment, you know, because we're going to be digging up a storm is my plan here. So let's do it. Let's go to town, digging up this riverbank, and getting some of this pay dirt into the trommel. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of that riverbank dug up. We got a really good chunk of that done, and much of the pay dirt is in the trommel. The trommel is just absolutely giving her. We've got 4 pails of concentrate that have kicked out now. I don't think we'll really get too much more, you know, since we've worked through, you know, we've already worked through all of the pay dirt that's in the trommel. The trommel works through it pretty fast, but yeah, I wanted to stop here because I got the call from the sawmill that our prefab walls and our furniture is ready to go. So I want to get that in over to the cabin so we can get those walls put in, and obviously the furniture and everything unboxed, you know, all that stuff. So I'm gonna hook on to our trailer here, and I'm gonna take the the long trip over, and then once I'm back, we'll offload all of this. It's not really gonna be much. It'll be a couple pallets, really, probably 2 pallets of furniture, and then I think one kind of like It's gonna be like one kind of skid unit of the walls. So we'll offload that over into the drop off at the cabin, and then we're gonna set down the gold room. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I think I'm gonna put the gold room over near the cabin. So I'll kind of show you that once we get back. But I'm gonna make the long drive over, go grab those walls and stuff, and then yeah, we'll offload once I'm back. Alright, we are just pulling back into the farm here. It was a bit of a drive, I'm not gonna lie. It took a bit of time. It's already 7 o'clock right now. But, yeah, we've got our walls and we've got our furniture. So I'm gonna kind of actually try and pull right over to the cabin. And then we're gonna go get the front loader. We'll get this unstrapped and we'll get it dropped off into the little drop-off area here. Okay, let's just... I'm gonna shut this down. Doesn't need to be running. Let's get these straps off. And let's run over. I probably could just tab into it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's fire this unit up. And let's head over. I'm very excited to get this stuff in because we're getting to the very, very end of what is needed for the cabin to be finished. And it's just so awesome. It cannot come soon enough, you know? Yeah, the old sea can. But we'll get this offloaded, and then, yeah, I'm thinking what I want to do is put the gold room kind of near the cabin. I was thinking about that a lot more, you know. The gold room's an important piece of this puzzle. It's like a very important piece, actually, and I think if I kind of want to keep it close to home, you know what I mean? I don't want to get robbed out here, and just kind of keeping it over here. I can have the gold close to me as the jars pop out, and we can put them in the cabin or just away from prying eyes, really. Okay, I should be able to get both these at once, I think. Yep, there we go. So I think I'm going to kind of put it on the back side, and then I can even plant some trees or something. I'm going to build a fence around it just to keep it a little secure. Drop that in there. Now, I don't think it's going to take all of these walls. I think they make like a standard wall pack, and I think it's actually more than we need, which is fine. Which is fine, because we can sell off anything that we don't use on our next load to wherever, to the warehouse. That's kind of heavy. Okay, let's get this dropped in. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to take all of it. Okay, so let's go jump and just take a look here. Mass 400 kilograms. So it looks like it took about half that. Okay, I'm just going to leave it sit there, and if more needs to get framed in, then that's what we'll do. Okay, let's go park this truck and trailer. Park this truck and trailer, and then I'll show you where I was kind of thinking of the gold room. The gold room's a little bit of an eyesore. Like, it is kind of like another sea can, so it kind of does... It's not ideal to have it over by the... Oh man, we really gotta spend money and get a new truck to pull this trailer. We'll see how much cash we got left after. I might even just leave this right there. Why not? Let's drop that tailgate. Oh, like that. Okay, now what I'm gonna do too, let's go load... Oh, we're gonna have to make a trip back to the... We gotta get fuel. That's another thing we gotta get set up. Yeah, we'll have to talk to the boys and see if they can get a big fuel tank trucked out to us and get them filling that kind of once a month or something, depending on how much fuel we go through. Let's jump out here. Let's load these pails up. Got some money here. Nice. Alright, let's jump in the truck. Throw a strap on everything, hey? Okay, let's head over and I'll show you where I was kind of thinking we'll put the gold room. I still want to leave our pad that we cleared over there for a good main laydown for shop and stuff, but I'm thinking if we put the gold room kind of somewhere right in this idea, that way it's on the back side, but I can keep a watch on it from these two windows if need be. And I was thinking something like that. Somewhere right about there. And then that way we can kind of build a fence and secure it down to like using the water as a bit of support. So if someone was to kind of rob us, they'd have to come in on a boat. Or they could come in on a boat rather, but yeah, that's where I'm kind of thinking we'll hide everything for right now. I'll plant some trees and stuff to kind of hide it a bit as well, but yeah, I think keeping it close to the house is gonna be a good idea. Now, can I just go like this, do you think? Oh my god, I can. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's close the tailgate. Let's jump out here. Let's head inside. 12,000. There we go. Okay, we need to activate this right now. Oh my god, we're gonna get some gold. That's awesome. So 353. I'm not even gonna worry about doing the calculations. I'm just gonna let this run. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna get through into August, see what pops out for gold, and then as much as I want to, like, I want the cabin to be finished. I'm hoping it'll be done by then. But if we have to get any other elements or something, we'll put it in. But it should be dangerously close to just being done. And then the cabin will be completed. We should have some gold sitting out there, which will be very exciting. And then we can go to town. I'll just kind of show you what future plans are a little bit. So obviously I want to build a road in through here, right along the tree line. And we've kind of already talked about this, and get back to this, where am I looking here? Into this area. We got to build some sort of a road in through to get to this area, right where it tails into this river, or yeah, like this like creek bed river area. This is where I definitely want to come in and do a little bit of digging. We've got a flat spot here, which is nice, so we'll be able to really kind of stage the equipment and just back through and just cut along this bank like we did. So the road will have to kind of pop through. Yeah, we got to kind of plan that out a little bit, but that will be the goal. Probably honestly even makes more sense just to go this way. We'll see. We'll take a look at all that next month once we get things a little bit further along. So yeah, I'll see you guys in August. Well, folks, there we have her. We officially have the cabin. It is unreal, and it is awesome. It is complete. This is it in all of its glory. Looks great. We'll go inside. We'll take a look at it in a sec. I just want to kind of give you the outside overview of it. So we've got an entrance. This entrance goes into the kitchen right there. I got to clean up all these pallets and stuff. This was just left over from what was not needed, but we can load that all on a trailer and get it sold off. But this is kind of our main entry area, if you will. A little coat rack. This kind of bench is kind of in the way, but we'll throw our keys and stuff there, something like that. So in here is just kind of like a little bit of a guest room. Looks like a mirror without any glass in it. It's probably for the best. Here's like that living room area. We got some of our furniture that came in. Fireplace. We'll just put some wood. You know, yeah. Nothing like empty baskets for whatever. A picture of what our future farm will hopefully look like one day with some beautiful pasture field. In here's just kind of like another little den office area. I got another bench here. We've got a bathroom, corner tub. Pretty cool. Little pantry area in there, and then this is the main kitchen, which we don't have a microwave or an air fryer, which is crazy. We definitely got to get both of those. Kind of another coat rack area, and this is our entrance, our other side entrance. And then if we go upstairs, we've got another room in here and another room in here. I think this one will probably be my room, because I think I want to keep a good eye on the gold room from right here. Right, look at that. You can see some jars of gold out there right now. That'll tell me I got to get out of bed, go get the gold. I'm gonna have to hide our jars of gold in here somewhere. Or maybe I'll float back and forth between this bedroom. Like, sometimes I might want to wake up and be looking like at the waterfall, right? And sometimes I might want to wake up and be like just rolling out of bed, kind of just looking over. Do we have gold? Oh yeah, we do have gold. Okay, so I'll probably go back and forth between what bed I sleep in. Another kind of like, this is like the upstairs living room. Very fancy. Another corner tub. Must have had a sale on corner tubs because we're bougie like that. But yeah, this is the cabin. Got some pictures and stuff hung up. Not too bad. But as we were looking through all our windows and stuff, we got some gold out there. And I think I'm going to do exactly what I said, is I'm going to grab our jars of gold. From the window I can only see one, but it looks like that we got 4. Nice. Okay, I think we're going to hide the gold in the cabin for now until we're ready to go sell it. We don't really need to go sell it just yet, but I think what I'll probably end up doing is keeping it up in one of these bedrooms, away from prying eyes. There we go. We gotta get like a safe or something. Now we're gonna have to take all, yeah, that whatever's left over of that lumber. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep that lumber. I'm gonna just keep it for now because I still want to build barns and stuff, and slowly kind of pick away at building just a little bit of a farm for us to have out here. Obviously gold mining is our main thing. Like, we want to build a gold mine empire, which is the goal. But there'll come a time when, you know, as I get older and stuff, when, you know, just running equipment and digging up the ground and gold mining's not going to be the funnest thing to worry about each day. Breakdowns and equipment and everything, and it'd be nice just to have some cattle and kind of enjoy a bit of a retirement. So I'll always be kind of picking away at building a farm in the background, and that'll be our little bit of a retirement once we've become successful from a gold mine and we can get ourselves some nice equipment, get some Angus, and yeah, we'll just run some cattle. That'll be our kind of our side little goal, and because having a little farm here on the side of a river near a waterfall would be kind of a perfect way to end our days. So our main goal, gold mine empire, which we've started massively, as we've got 4 jars of gold, which is great. Now let's just look at this. Okay, 2,500 liters of gold per jar, which we'll keep hidden up here. Come on now. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay, so we got our gold up there. There's a bunch of things we got to kind of do. I want to get the trailer pulled around, and I'm going to load some of the lumber that's come through out of our sawmill, get that loaded up onto the trailer and kind of get ready to be sold. And I want to get a bunch of these roof tiles. Again, I might just leave these stocked up. I'm going to look through here. We got 168,000 liters of stone in here, so I want to clean up this patch of stone and kind of get this all just like cleaned up, so that, and whatever we can out of here, it just dumped into this production facility so we can keep cleaning the pad. So I think we'll probably just start doing that first, really. I think that'll be good, as we'll go jump in the... You can shut that one down. We don't need the dozer. We need this. Now, it says we got some pay dirt in the bucket. Let's go dump that in the trommel. We still got to dig up a bunch of this riverbank, which will be an ongoing process, and I'll kind of pick away at, although we're getting to a spot where it's getting kind of steep in there. So I might have to try and back the dozer in and do a little bit more leveling. Dump that out. Let's take this unit over, and let's get some of these stones picked up, cleared up, and yeah, dropped into the production facility. But we're doing good. We hit an amazing milestone right now, right? An amazing milestone. We got 4 jars, 2,500 liters. We've hit 10,000 liters of gold, which is awesome. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. That scoop that good. We did it. We are like officially, we're not just stone miners anymore. We're not just pad clears. We are officially gold miners, and that's awesome. And we got a cabin. What a great episode where we hit 2 milestones. I can get that sea can trucked out of here. I'm gonna try and get them to bring us out a fuel tank, and then grab that sea can on their way out, and no more sleeping in the sea can, which is awesome. We're gonna have a good winter, all in time for fall. And like I said, next episode, we're going to have such a busy next few episodes, because I want to clear out a bunch more of those trees. I want to set down shops and units out here so we can kind of get a laydown area and a mechanic shop prepped for the equipment that will inevitably break down. They say death and taxes are the only things that are certain, but I promise you breakdowns are. And if we can be ready for breakdowns when winter hits, it'll be much better if we can have some sort of like a good shop, and we can cork the door. Oh my god, I dumped it in the wrong one. I'm not paying attention here. No. Oh, let me scoop it all in one shot. Probably not. Oh god. It's just too convenient of a dump off, of a drop off area there. Alright, we'll get that other little scoop just after. But yeah, I think that's going to be kind of a really good spot to end this episode. Like I said, we got so much done, and we hit 2 major milestones this episode, which is great. We've got, like I said, the cabin, and we've got gold. So that's awesome. That is very, very awesome, and I can't wait for the next little bit, because now that we got gold coming in, we'll really be able to expand, eventually get bigger equipment, and just get more gold. It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm really enjoying it myself. Hopefully you guys have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. And if you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it. Like always, if you could hit that like, hit that sub button for me, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the cabin. Let me know just kind of what you think of all of it. And yeah, you can also join the Discord. Links for all that stuff is in the description. Just see here. And yeah, thanks again. I'll see you guys on the next episode, and have a good one.